All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Silver Spoon, Season 2, Episode 6, The
Hachiken
Festival.
has collapsed.
Yep, but even more importantly, there's two sleds, each with a different waifu representing it. And which one will you root for in this race? The real questions, Hachiken collapsing, yeah, whatever, you know.
Wait, who's the second waifu?
Well, there was the one that was like the elements, and then there was another one I didn't get, they didn't explain, they didn't sell us the waifu. I felt kind of disappointed by that, you know. But there's two waifus.
No, there's three. They're all different. Yeah, it was phosphorus, potassium, and
right.
Carbon?
And the other sled only has one waifu. This is an injustice. It's an imbalanced distribution of waifus for the race.
It's an idle element group.
Right, exactly. One you've got the trio, right, and then the one you've got the solo performer.
Mm-hmm,
yeah,
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what's important here, not the fact that Hachiken is, probably going to be in the hospital.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Do you think? Of course, you've seen the show,
I mean,
but like,
you think I remember?
Yeah. But
I locked that away a long time ago.
Hachiken going to the hospital
and just misses the whole festival.
He could miss the whole festival.
Wouldn't that suck?
Honestly, that could be a really cool natural consequence that doesn't involve him literally being physically like damaged.
Where it's just you worked so hard for this thing. You don't get to appreciate any of it.
Yeah.
You don't even get to see the race. You don't even get to know firsthand which waifu group won.
So yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. 'Twas the morning before... Oh, okay, everyone found him. Oh shit, and Aki, you're immediately going into her emotions with stuff that reminds her of her dad. Uh-oh. I mean, that's true.
Yeah, we know that.
確かにそうなんだけど、一生懸命だったの。絶対成功させるって頑張ってくれたの。馬のかっこいいところを見てもらいたい。見る人に楽しんでもらいたい。あやめちゃん。何よ。力を貸してほしい。あ、もしもしお父ちゃん？仕事中だったらごめんね。今エゾノに来てるんだけど、私の馬。ドロイヤル号とバグ装備一式送ってよこして。
Jesus!
ここ気がついた？病院よ。
Wow.
まだ寝てていいのよ。
今何日の何時
？9月30日13時20分。
行かなきゃ。
無理しない。
Stay the fucking
帰れないわよ。若いから回復も早いけどね。今はきちんと休んでおかないと。
Yep.
それナースコールね。何かあったら押して。
俺が寝てる間に誰か見舞いに来ました。
ああ、一人来てたよ。学校の先生みたいな。ほら、そこにメモ置いてった人。
学生っぽいやつは。
来てないよ。
Standing. Dad, no way! Emergency contact, no fucking way!
Yep.
大江戸農業高校はお前に合わんようだな。健康管理もままならん。自ら選んだ学校でこのざまか。
合う合わないって勝手に決めつけるなよ。そりゃ体を動かすこと多くてしんどいけどさ。俺はエゾノに入ってよかったと思ってるよ。
そうか。お前は小さい頃から机の上の勉強が好きだったから、その好きなことがたっぷりやれる学校に行かせるのがベストだと思ったのだがな。
進学校はどうしても同級生を競争相手みたいに見ちゃうんだ。俺はそれが嫌だった。エゾノはみんなそれぞれマイペースでそんなこと考えなくていいから。
それは彼らになら成績で抜かれる心配がないから。
Wow.
心のどこかで彼らを下に見て安心しているだけではないのか。
Wow, he's not necessarily wrong.
Yep.
They're busy with something right now.
先生、父です。担任の桜木先生。
倒れた理由が学祭の準備による疲労だというではありませんか。学校という勉学の場で勉強とは関係のないことで生徒を倒れさせるとは本末転倒。
おっしゃる通りです。私がもう少し八健君の体調に気を使っていれば防げた事態でした。
俺が勝手に倒れたんだ。先生は関係ない。
いや、関係あるよ。お父さんの言う通りだ。八健あんなに準備頑張ってたのにな。学祭出してやれなくてごめんな。
私は帰る。後のことは美佐子に任せてある。
母さんも来てんのか。
せっかく遠いところをいらっしゃったのですから、もう少しゆっくりなさっては。
仕事がありますので帰ります。
父さん、俺がエゾノに来たのが気に食わないみたいだけど、ベーコン、俺の作ったベーコンうまいって言ってたじゃないか。認めてくれたじゃないか。
ベーコン？ああ、あれか。認めたとは何のことだ。私はあれの味については一言も発していない。先生、引き続き息子よろしくお願いします。
はい。
Wow.
Yep.
何よこれ。
人間バンバ知らないの？
知ってるけど。ってあら、駒場一郎。
Oh, hello.
久しぶりだな。
じゃなくて、なんであなたはちゃっかり騎手やってるのよ。私はこの人間バンバの騎手をやらせてもらうわ。馬の役なんてやってられ。
Oh.
Yep.
スタート。
ちょっとしっかり引っ張りなさいよ。見かけだけに分けてるじゃない。勝ったら食券5000円分くれてやるわよ。あいた。
どこも異常なしだそうです。
そうか、よかったな。
Is that
八
mom?
健、このまますぐ学校に戻るだろう。
He
昨
definitely
日出
looks
られ
like
なかった
her.
分、エゾ農祭の2日目を楽しめよ。
Oh, he doesn't want to.
さんも一緒に行くわ。
いいよ、一人で。
あ、いいよって。あなたお金持ってないでしょ。
なんで父さんが俺のベーコンうまいって言ったなんて嘘ついたんだ。
嘘じゃないわよ。ほら、お父さんって料理にあまり口を出さないでしょ。ユーゴのベーコン食べた時も無言だったから、それって肯定の意味かと思ってね。
そうやって変な気使われるよりありのまま言ってくれた方がよかった。降りる。
え、ユーゴ。
メガネ屋は一人で行くから。
でも
一人で行くから。
ちょっと待ちなさい。もうとりあえずこれ。
Yeah, yeah.
ではこちらお釣りになります。
Yeah.
それ全部募金箱入れといてください。
ありがとうございました。
Alright, a walking montage as he walks like 10 miles.
Yeah.
ただいまをもちましてエゾ農祭を終了いたします。
疲れた。
終わったな。
ここに食べちゃっていいかな。
ピザ美味しかったね。
Oh, there's got a swirl of emotions that he's going through right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they've already cleared it.
いや、
戻ってきて大丈夫なの？
はい、ただの過労でした。馬術部の出し物。
うん、何事もなく無事に終わったよ。打ち上げやるから部室で待ってな。
いや、俺何もできな
Go,
かったん
go,
で。
go, Hachiken.
打ち上げとか。
Go!
Bullshit! Yeah!
Kick his ass!
Yep!
はい。
Don't make me feel bad, you did more than any of us!
You're gonna be a dumbass about it.
ただいま。うわ、目線そらされた。
よかった。 ったよかった。
帰るわ。やっぱ俺参加する資格ないし。
ちょっとなんで？打ち上げやろうよ。
どの面下げて参加できるって言うんだ。例えるなら俺は徳川秀忠関ヶ原の戦いに間に合わなかった男。はあ、そうか。俺はこうやって勉強できないお前らを見下してきたんだ。そうさ、嫌われて当然さ。
なんでそうなるの？
だって誰も見舞いに来ないし。
昼は祭りで持ち場を離れられないし、夜は病院の面会時間が終わっちゃってるでしょ。これ八健くんのノート、これ残してくれたからトラブルなく終えられたの。そりゃお見舞い行きたかったけど、八健くんが一番望んでることって何だろうって考えて、私たちができることをきっちりやるべきだってみんなで。
すねちゃってバカみてえ。ありがとうな。Mikageはさ、障害もバンバンも楽しんだか？
なまら楽しかった。
Twas.
いい
Slip
の
it into her
な
dialect.
すごく楽しかった。
Yeah.
She had so much fun.
これみんな見に来てくれたんだよな。
Oh. Oh. Yep. 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 Fuck, man.
悪い。大丈夫。嬉しいだけだから。
お疲れ様、八健くん。
お前戻ってきたって聞いて。
Okay, good, good, good.
くずいも。
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
いただきます。
頑張っても大きくなれなかったこいつらだけど、やりようか。
Wow. It's being laid on so thick.
Yeah.
あれ、そういえば中島先生は姿見てないね。
Oh, wait. Wait. They're cleared out? No! No! The cheese!
It should have been me!
It's not them! Me!
Yeah. Fun stuff.
All right, Hachiken collapsed and is in the hospital.
Yep.
Misses the festival.
Yep.
That's a good natural story consequence. He seems to be no worse for wear as far as long-term consequences.
Right. He'll be fine.
For now, everything looks good, so that's fantastic. Clean bill of health, just fatigue. Doesn't have any any other issues or anything like that.
Nope.
So, still his parents show up though.
Yeah. Because of course they do, right?
Of course they do. Yeah.
Yep.
He could have been seriously hurt. So
and in
emergency
fact,
contact, they call him up and bring them down here. And the fact that they're both here is good. This could have been a just mom shows up kind of situation.
But no, father will do his duty as a father in the public eye. Yep.
And just chastise his son for, essentially doing something stupid, which he did do it dumb.
He did.
And in a lot of ways, you need at least one person to be like, hey, you're doing it dumb. Because most of the people at Yeza were like, he was trying so hard, though.
Right.
Nobody, and this is something I do find actually is a little bit problematic here. I think this is a little bit of a Japanese thing, but nobody was like, Hachiken, dumbass.
Yep, headshot. Like, there was definitely a glorification of the, not just from the characters, but from the show itself of like the, and this was like, this almost kind of falls into the aspect too of the previous episode could have been a lot shorter, right?
Yep.
Like they communicated what they wanted to communicate, but look how much he's doing. Oh, it's so cool. Like, as if this, as if this wouldn't still be a problem if he was doing less? Like, if he wasn't doing 5 times as much as everybody else, right?
Yeah.
But he was still doing way too much for himself. that would have changed.
Yeah.
You know, the situation.
Yeah. The fact that nobody brought that up.
It very much feels like the side, thing. But run with the wind when the one character is sick but still wants to continue the race, but none of the people on the team actually say, no, you sit out, right?
Right.
Like, it's the... Yeah.
Yeah, there's a different cultural thing going on here. The stuff that I wanted to have happen in this episode of the people being like, oh, I feel bad about putting all this stuff on you and stuff like that. Nope. Never brought up. Everyone's just like, hey, yeah, it was the uncomfortable stuff of, why didn't anyone come to visit me? Hachiken literally doubted whether or not he had any friends here.
Yep.
That was scary. Like the fact that his dad comes in, throws him for a spin.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the stuff his dad did wasn't that bad, but it was the way in which he basically blindside just fired his guns at everybody who was around, just blaming all of them
right.
for all this stuff.
No, I'm glad you're okay.
No, I'm glad you're okay. No actual consideration for feelings in any way whatsoever.
Nope.
Classic, just general...
Not even giving him...
No empathy kind of father kind of figure. So
not even giving him a... something to count on with regards to what he does. Like even with the firing his guns at everybody, that's like a chaotic thing of like, okay, so what do I take from that as far as you, my dad, like what to expect
nothing.
from you?
He goes
just
on
that you're
defensive.
angry,
Nothing.
right? Like
nothing.
Yeah.
Hachiken can't take anything from him. Even if it was good, Hachiken's had enough bad that he just goes into full defensive mode.
Right.
The visual storytelling of the way that Hachiken's posture was towards him of either I'm in complete submissive. There's literally a way in which this show has tried to make cool comparisons between the ways in which animals and humans are not so different.
Sure.
And Hachiken is basically like a subservient little vice president, just being like, yeah.
Until the point where he's like, okay, now I'm going to be like actually combative, and then it frames it like it's going to be a fight or something.
Right. And the shot that they use is a classic one of kind of a back behind Hachiken, where he's kind of got this like leaned forward pose, like he's about to lunge at him. But he's just asking about the bacon. And then the dad, in a lot of ways, I don't think does anything immediately wrong here, in that he was basically doing the, I am blunt, thick object that does not understand nuance. So he says, I
didn't say anything about the bacon.
I did not say anything about the bacon.
In fact, I didn't say one word.
I didn't give any comment about it. Goodbye.
Right. Yep.
In a lot of ways, that's like some harem protagonist, like dumbass level of thickness.
And that's in the best circumstances.
That's the best circumstances. I choose to not read anything in between the middle with regards to characters that have been given so little characterization that's entirely framed through one person's eyes.
See, in my mind, I am not so generous for the dad like as you.
Well, you've also watched this show before.
No, but there's, I mean, we have half a core left of what I've seen and you haven't, right? Like
I know.
This is basically the tone that they do for the dad, because that's why Hachiken's over here, right? Is because he's getting away from them, and so these little bits, that's what we have to go on for them. And
no, I understand that.
Okay.
I'm saying that this is clearly not a show that's ending anytime soon. Like I'm sure that the manga goes long beyond this stuff here.
I'm sure it does. But as far as with what I've seen and what that makes me draw the conclusions of, like it's the whole, you basically came here and instead of asking if I was okay, berated me for my actions at this school and berated me as an extension because you want to berate me for the fact that I chose to go to this school.
Yep.
And also kind of leverage the idea that, hey, theoretically, you could say, I'm your parent. I'm allowing you to continue to go to this school, but theoretically I could,
right, but he doesn't.
No, right. And so then it's the, wait, but what about, oh, come on, you don't approve of my choices or whatever, but I thought you gave approval of the bacon. No, I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and I think all that is tone. All that is tone. If you change the tone slightly, it's entirely different in terms of what it means. So I choose not to read too deep into this there, other than this dad is stupid. This dad is incapable of seeing or understanding his son's feelings, and thus he is cold and detached. and
Sure.
does not have any care for him.
Nope.
And that's just the way it is from the surface level. There could be more to it underneath because we know about the way Hachiken has his relationship with his studies, and that's why he's here. But then he has his mom, who, yes, did lie to him and said that his dad loved the bacon.
And I love that she didn't even see it as a lie when he commented on it. She's just like, well, no, because he
never makes any comments about food.
Right. In fact, he oftentimes says negative stuff about food.
So silence is a positive.
Means that he is a positive. It's like, but he didn't say that it was good.
Yeah.
Like you think
I lied.
Like you think I don't understand my dad and how he is about food, right?
Yep.
Like, or just about the fact of me coming to this school, right?
Yep.
Like, and the fact that maybe him giving approval to something that I do at this school when he says, oh yeah, it's a bunch of, useless shit or whatever.
Yep.
That maybe if he says, the bacon's pretty good though, that might be him saying, okay, yeah, you're actually, like giving me a shred of approval.
For all the other stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
But no, she lied.
Yep.
I definitely am more personally bothered by people that so casually lie, and then when you call them out on it, they go,
was it a lie?
Well, I mean, I'm not really lying.
From a certain point of view, yeah.
Yeah. My most of my bother goes to the dad for just being cold and unfeeling. But I know there are people like that. But the mom's thing of lying is one where it literally was that is her characterization to a T so far.
Oh yeah.
So it's the kind of thing where I wasn't at all surprised by that.
Nope, it makes total sense.
It just feels exactly like what she would do.
And if anything,
she downplays basically the offenses and the issues and basically gaslights and avoids taking the side of her son for the purpose of absolutely nothing. There's nothing really that she gains by saying this about her husband.
Right. Well, it's entirely to make herself feel better because she thinks she's making her son feel better, but it's not actually something that will truly make her son feel better, right? It's the because this isn't a situation where dad's actually involved, because he's not privy to our text conversations or things like that. I'll do all these things to try and be a mother because I haven't been, right? But when it comes to actually like helping you in the probably moment by moment when, dad was being his awful self, I'll just sort of be quiet and not do anything.
Well, she wasn't there.
She
wasn't there in the hospital.
No, I'm talking about like,
again, that's
a decent bit of this is extrapolation.
That's why I don't do that, because it's extrapolating a bit too much.
It might be extrapolating a bit too much, but there's an element of extrapolation that is totally fair to do. I think.
Sure.
If I didn't get good grades, I wasn't allowed home.
Yep.
What did the mom have to say about that? Nothing. Yeah. Nothing.
Yep.
Right? That's the kind of shit that would happen. But then, but once it's in private text messages where dad's not privy to, then I'll be all like, how's it going? I'm gonna try and actually be a mom.
Right. But that's the thing. I don't put any like immediate kind of stuff for that outside of there are people that are in situations where the dad could be an absolute, tyrannical, dictator, and she's literally not got anything to give for her son in that regard.
Sure.
So who's to say?
Yep.
The idea that she was not attributed any more than the father really was attributed. It was just that Hachiken said, when I didn't do this, I wasn't allowed home. He didn't say dad didn't allow me home. He didn't say mom and dad didn't allow me home.
Just
that was the way it is.
That was the result. It doesn't matter what intentions were or actions or whatever.
Yeah.
That was the state of things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in that regard, we have a lot of hearsay of the past, and that's all we have to go on outside of the immediate things here. So these immediate things can be used to draw connections back to the past. But outside of that, it's a really rough situation, because it feels almost so realistic that there's nothing immediately, I would say, like healthy or abusive about their relationship. It just feels like they have no relationship with their son, Like, if you look at their interactions here, there was nothing about it that was screaming, like, this is abusive.
No, yeah.
It's more that there's the effect of the way that he responds
Nothing
to them.
so egregious to the point where you would
label them as evil.
Or like, demand some kind of intervention to stop it. Right.
Right. That's what makes it so
parents.
that's what makes it so insidious, is that there's nothing here in this episode that would make a teacher go, oh,
yeah,
stop.
let's get you out of that home. Yeah.
Right. But the person in the hospital bed next to him can feel it.
And he's like, oh, fuck. Like,
this
me,
is
a grown-ass adult, I am going to say nothing because I don't want to be here right now.
Yeah, this is really uncomfortable. So,
Yep.
all in all, Hachiken had a really rough time of it. I loved the complicated emotion of no one came to visit me, because he's spiraling from his dad's stuff there.
Right,
So
because
then
that's entirely something that his dad seeds in his mind, right? Like,
I'm sorry, I wasn't done.
Oh,
I'm trying to
okay,
finish
go
this
for
here. The thing that I wanted to get at was that when you have a thing that isolates you from the group thing here, but you take the blame for yourself being the one that did it because of what his dad said, and yet the lesson that needs to be got here is actually that you need to take better care of yourself, Hachiken.
Yep.
It twists his ability to actually take the real lesson from this.
Yes.
Because then he's afraid of wait, did I make the wrong choice? Because he's right. Look at the way that this went.
Right. You can tell there's an aspect of what Hachiken can tell there's an aspect of what his dad says that is correct.
Right.
Right. His dad is a horrible person, so he's not going to want to take what he says.
Yeah.
But he still has to deal with the fact that there was at least one good point that he made in there. So what do I do with that? Right. And then that gives some insight into maybe how his dad could think, oh, you just really like studying, right? When if you didn't get good grades, you weren't allowed at home.
Yeah.
So you think he just enjoys studying. Okay, right? And then as a result of that, Hachiken's like, of course he goes even harder into this, right?
Yeah.
Because he does all of these things to specifically undermine his own like confidence in himself and just make him start to doubt everything.
Yep.
When the dad has no real like evidence or insight other than just the stuff that he's seeing here, right?
Of what?
Like to make these kinds of accusations, right?
Regarding
like the fact that like, oh, well, your friends must not care about you. They, have they come to visit you, right? Like things like that.
I mean, yeah, that's an intrusive thought that I think is natural to have here, though. That's one that I
No, totally. But
it's rude to point it out, but it's something that I think in a lot of ways, if I didn't know better, if I was Hachiken, I would feel really weird that nobody had visited the entire day. That felt actually like,
sure.
Wait, really? Like, oh, like no one was able to at the very least be on the, hey, I'm on the check on Hachiken duty, I'm gonna go, see how he's doing and stuff. But
yep,
no,
yeah,
no, it's just circumstances, So
and his dad naturally is just like, oh yeah, I'll find the place in which he might have an insecurity and I'll push on that.
See, yeah, that's the kind of thing where, again, I feel like that's an intent-based thing where you're trying to get almost a little bit too much as to why he would do this, but
well, it's to make Hachiken cow, right? It's you shouldn't be going to this school. You're making mistakes, and I'm going to bludgeon you with all of the logic I can bring to bear. Even though the logic is not actually going to be based necessarily on reality, but it's going to be based on enough of little things that you could say theoretically as possible, that I'm going to make it so that you don't have the confidence to actually go against my wishes, because that's what led you to this place in the first place.
I mean, that's all very fair.
And then you'll do what I want. You won't turn out like your brother, right?
Yeah.
Because, and hey, there you go. And while that might not be something that's as easy to put a label on it of like, easy to recognize, like, oh, fuck, this is abusive behavior. In my mind, it 100% is. Like, his dad knows what he's doing. I don't think he's an idiot. I think he knows exactly what he's doing. He just doesn't care about the ramifications of it.
I think that in a lot of ways, I think in a lot of ways it's too easy to say that someone knows exactly what they're doing. I think it's too easy to just throw he knows exactly what he's doing.
Isn't it harder though in a lot of ways to say that someone's just a total idiot?
No, I think it's that he doesn't care.
No, that's what I'm saying too.
No, but you're saying he's targeting a specific weakness to specifically make him feel a certain way. I don't think he cares enough about his son to target him in that way. You know, he's here and he's just casually
he cares enough about his son to say, if you don't get good grades, you don't get to be at home.
Yeah. But again, that's not what's happening here. That's not this scene.
No,
So I think that the thing that was the most insidious about this scene is that there was no overt abuse. It was all the kinds of things that if he said 3 words added into specific places in this whole thing would actually be like amazing.
Yeah, this conversation could have very easily turned into a very good, healthy, maybe hard conversation between a father and the son of like, hey, this isn't good. Like,
right.
You know, I'm cool with you making your own decisions and stuff, even if I don't necessarily agree with them. But you got to take care of yourself just because, like, you know, just because you're not going to do what I think is best. Let me at least give you some perspective and insight that you might be missing because I do have experience, right?
Yeah.
We got none of that.
Yeah. The thing is that
like
a lot of the things that made this, I would say, a situation where it seems like he's kind of coming down on him here is his facial expression. He just has this permanent scowl on his face, but he doesn't seem to ever take that off.
That could be just his.
That's just scary. Dad is scary, you know. But then the
everything he says is to break down Hachiken. Oh, you can't even maintain your health, and you weren't even doing your studies.
Here.
This is the school
fatigue.
you're.
He collapsed from fatigue. Like
I'm aware.
No, I know. I'm just saying that's the kind of thing where the the point I'm trying to get is I feel like you're too targeted on trying to make the dad seem as evil as possible.
I'm just trying to list out the things that he did.
Oh, okay. Because I'm trying to bring up the idea that Hachiken is absorbing too much of what the dad said because a lot of what the dad said is true. And that in terms of what the dad was trying to get at here, I don't think is what's important here. It's how Hachiken receives it. Like how Hachiken takes this and then seeks basically approval and then goes through the rest of the episode until basically the very end, operating underneath the, my dad was right. He almost like ruins the... Yeah.
Like, you could have a parent say, hey, little kid, without me, you would starve and freeze to death. They're correct. That doesn't mean that that's not abusive to say that.
No, totally.
That doesn't mean that it's not something that is specifically done to, get some results from their child.
Again, but that's not what was said here, though.
Of course, those.
No, I know, but it's the kind of thing that doesn't help the point of what I'm trying. It doesn't detract or add anything to what I was trying to say. Is that Hachiken was able to absorb all of this as being just typical dad stuff.
Yeah,
because
that's what he knows.
Well, yeah, because that's what he knows. But he doesn't get, by the end of the episode, anything really to refute this. The sad thing about this is that over the course of this last half here, he basically held all the pain and everything into it until he saw the
one nice comment, or the several nice comments, but the one in particular that struck him.
The one in particular because it's about someone
talking about their feelings, or
noticing the way in which someone was working so hard. Someone was pushing. He's the horse basically in this instance, and that cheered him up. And it's the, oh shit, yeah, fuck, that means a lot to me. Like all that, I wanted people to see how cool the horses were, but also I was working so hard, and I'm gonna take a little bit of that, for me. But by the end of the episode, he just basically gets reaffirmed that his friends are all, you know, absolutely with him. There was no lack of connection here with regards to him not seeing them and everything. But
while there may have been truth to the fact that they didn't come to visit him, there was no truth to the conclusion that they don't care about you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the other things of, you know, did you make a mistake coming here and all that other stuff, that, I don't know, that could have been something that wasn't fully addressed because he did actually take it in. I just feel like there's a part of the dad's words that are more insidious because of the way they attach themselves to the truth, and thus Hachiken takes them and runs with them even further than what's on the surface there. The dad, yes, absolutely could be a horrific, malicious guy that's trying to specifically weaken Hachiken's psyche for the purpose of getting him to quit this school and everything. But even if he's not doing that, the way Hachiken is taking it, the way Hachiken is taking it, though, is the way that's so bad, I think. If that makes sense. I think that's the point I was trying to get at, is that rather than focusing on how insidious the dad is theoretically being here, look at the way Hachiken is taking it because of the way he responds to his dad.
Yes, it's bad. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you don't have anything else other than it's bad, like.
It informs how Hachiken got to be the person that he is.
Okay.
And how it's a pattern that runs very deep for him, and so that even when people are saying, hey, you should take a break, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Right? Because this is what his dad's taught him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. He hasn't still also gotten anything from the rest of his friends in that regard.
Actually saying, hey.
Actually saying, you know, this is something where you messed up. You need to take care of yourself.
He doesn't have any second opinion on this, and so he just has to acknowledge that there is some things to what my dad said, even though I don't like it because he's an asshole and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But he can't actually sift through all the shit that his dad is saying in order to get the nuggets of truth in there that might actually be worthwhile in keeping, because no one else is actually affirming the stuff that needs to be affirmed.
Thank you. That's the thing I wanted to bring up, is that it was all the way up until he saw the note there that he felt any real affirmation from what he did. And this is something that I think is really important here. He seeks affirmation from his father. He literally was like, well, tell me, you liked the bacon, right? No, I didn't say that. Devastated. Absolutely devastated. Not because he realized, oh, shit, my father doesn't approve of the bacon in this moment here. It's the, oh my God, why did I believe, you know, for the slightest bit that my dad would affirm or approve anything that I do.
Right.
You know? Yep. And
fuck, I should have known.
Yeah, fuck, I should have known. Exactly. Yeah. So now he's, you know, pissed at his mom for sure. But in this whole last bit of the episode, he gets to kind of celebrate and have this moment of camaraderie, bringing everything together. But I still feel like there's a left piece that's being ignored of the Hachiken still needs some actually good affirmation with regards to the person that he is, and he doesn't need to perform for these people in order to make them like him and stuff.
Right.
You
can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, and that's Hachiken's whole issue, and that's why he continues to take on the things for other people, and
I don't think he learned his lesson here.
Absolutely not.
And it's something that I don't think is because the dad obfuscated the lesson. I think he's just not getting this kind of stuff being brought up because he's not being vulnerable or open enough with his classmates, so they don't know how to approach it, or either then none of them actually have learned this lesson because they're all from a much different culture where it's we're going to work until we collapse, because that's just what my dad did. And
whether it's Komoba's dad who actually died, or Aki's dad who just, you know, hurt his back and now can't work anymore. Yeah, and that's, you know, and the wheel goes round and round, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this just episode bugs me because I wanted someone to bring that up, and nobody did. And so I'm like, well, damn it, then the show is saving it for a later point. It's going to be a thing that gets brought up later. So the fact that the dad's the only one that actually said the right thing in that regard makes me really have to separate and parse out the difference between the dad saying abusive things, which we know he's capable of. We know that's in him. But attributing it to everything just because it's coming from the dad, I feel like is the wrong way to look at it. He's still a human being. He's a person that does fucked up things because we know that.
Yeah.
You know, I say that it's hearsay more to bring up the thing of we haven't seen it. We have seen the evidence of it, so we know it's happened. But the point is that when it then has scenes with the dad, we use that to characterize the dad, not to immediately go, see, all this is the abuse here. It's
we
to bring
we
up
have
that,
something told that it happens. We have the dad show up, do things that are in line with that. And that's not a confirmation.
No,
you're
you're being pedantic here. Maybe I'm being pedantic, but the point is that the dad shows up, does things that are really, I would say, at the very least, rude. And then the other side of it is what I would say the majority of it is just dead cold, no heart, no warmth, no nothing, no care for his son. And that I'd say is something that I'm fine if you want to call that like immediately like abusive. I just don't see it as malicious. I see it as so just cold.
Well, we've had disagreements about the definition of malicious, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing that I want to bring up is that you can have someone that's a fucked up person say things that are right, and because it's coming from a source that you're dependent on for some kind of emotional need that Hachiken is still
hasn't been
prescribed
able
to his dad because he's not getting it from anyone else.
Yes, and if he were to get his needs met from someone else, then maybe he'd be able to actually interact with his dad in a more healthy way.
Right.
Both with keeping himself safe from the awful things that his dad says, but also being able to parse out to the decent things that his dad says, and take those separate and being able to actually ingest them.
Thank you.
And then actually grow from them, as opposed to just in his reactionary, trying to not be like his dad, get away from his dad. Respond in a way that causes him to perpetuate these things that are self-destructive.
Yes. Yeah, you just said everything I was saying just so perfectly there. Yeah, the idea that Hachiken is going to have situations where his dad is actually going to bring up something that's relatively reasonable. And yet, because of the trauma, because of the abuse, because of the past stuff there is no real like relationship with it. And yet, Hachiken, you are in a place here, you are in a position with all these people that you can let them in. And while I maybe I'm just asking too much of Hachiken at this point here, because it's something where it has to come naturally and slowly over the course
it's
of
a
time
process,
with all these kids and stuff.
You don't
He's
learn
a kid,
instantly.
they're a kid. There's so much about this which is him kind of spinning his wheels here. So I'm not upset with him. I am more just maybe upset with the culture that's being presented through the story, and that nobody has given Hachiken the hard conversation except the dad.
He got a salve for the shitty stuff that happened.
Yeah.
But he has not actually gotten the lesson given to him from somebody that actually cares about him.
Right. And that's something that I wanted to make sure that we got parsed out in the discussion, is that you can have someone tell you the right thing the wrong way, and you still have to admit that they're saying the right thing here. It's not because it's malicious. It's not because it's necessarily coming from a place for the sake of abuse. They are saying the right thing, but the intent as to why they're saying it is literally an up for debate kind of thing. It's who knows, you know? Like, I get you disagree. I just think this is one of those situations where the story really tries its best to make the relationships that are the painful ones in this story as realistic as possible, so that the people still make sense. The people are not.
Oh yeah. We
there's
it doesn't
no
take
evil
a lot
villains
to,
in this
it doesn't
story,
take
you know?
a lot to understand the dad or the mom or Hachiken, or even the dynamics with Aki and her family or Gomoba and his family.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also from that cultural perspective, I think one of the things that might actually be really big as a wake-up call for me when I'm watching these types of shows is that a lot of people just have this parenting as their experience. And it's not an uncommon thing. It's not a seen as abuse kind of thing.
The reason that it's able to be done with such little detail actually presented in the show is because it's supposed to be a shorthand. You know what this is like. This is the stereotypical Japanese dad that's a bad dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't really give any thought or time to his son's feelings or his son's desires.
No.
You are an element of the family, and I control the family. So therefore, this is the way things go.
Yeah.
And we can see by the nature of the way that the older brother acts that there was very much a violent snapping away from the family unit that the older son had to deal with.
Right.
And Hachiken definitely got the secondhand effects from that.
Yes.
And now that he is out of that dynamic,
He's doing a lot better.
He's doing a lot better, but it is something where, because this was the first real conversation we've had on screen with Hachiken and his dad, like literally there has not been another conversation here. I wanted to make sure I parsed this from every single angle because every single word is characterization for the dad.
Well, yeah, like if you, a random comment from Aki doesn't mean much as far as characterization for her in the grand scope of the show because we've had a lot of time with her. With the dad, if he's only had 20 lines, then each one of those lines is very important.
Extremely important.
Yeah.
They were painstakingly chosen because we are dealing with each line being 5% of his actual, screen time.
And that's why I think reading into the exact details of the things that are said is not unreasonable, but it's
no. I'm not saying it's unreasonable. I'm saying that it's something where it's still something where it needs to be willing to be looked at from different angles. That it's not definitively one way or the other, just because we know of what his past was. We have a lot of opportunity to look at it from different angles.
But okay, well, yeah.
But yeah, I really, really liked that this episode gave us so much to deal with here, and then the catharsis, if you will, of having hey, let's just have a lighthearted, fun party.
Yeah, let's fry some little tiny potato rejects.
Yeah. See, Hachiken, you can eventually see. And I think it's going to take some time, but you don't need to frame it as that you're the reject, you're the one that was left behind, you're the one that was abandoned, you're the one that was, given the shit, lot in life, and there can be good things made from it. It's a very cool, redemptive kind of view to look at this. But Hachiken, this meeting, this event, this festival literally would not have happened if you hadn't have done what you did. Now, while you weren't capable of doing everything,
you didn't do it in a healthy way, and let's work on that next time.
Right.
All these people are really glad that you're here.
All these people are really glad that you're here, but also you are the reason, literally, in a lot of ways, as to for why a lot of it went so well.
Yeah.
So you are not a reject. If anything, you're a leader here, and
give yourself some credit.
Yeah, give yourself some credit, and take the thing that I'm sure Aki is going to bring up again later the next time she sees Hachiken doing, a bit more crazy stuff here. And please, lean on these people here.
And maybe that could be like a fun conversation. Granted, that might be asking a bit much for high schoolers.
Yeah.
But we both had kind of similar situations where we wanted the other person to lean on us or, et cetera, and they didn't really do it. Hey, let's maybe talk about that, right? Like we can both relate to it, but then also any ideas, because that, we've been in both of the positions of being the person that's not willing to lean on other people and the person who's wishing that, the person they cared about would lean on other people and they don't. What do we do here?
What do we do here?
But
yeah. But all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out my Baldur's Gate 3 Let's Play on Twitch. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.